Mediocre Man channel. We're installing a 17-tooth sprocket on the front sprocket, and we're going to change out the chain, and this is going to lengthen out the gears and make the shifting a longer interval in between shifting gears, which will help with my wheelie practice. I want to give a couple shout outs. One is to Aaron Greenway. He has a channel that reviews pit bikes, and he made the same change to one of his bikes, and he's really good. So I'm going to put a link to his YouTube channel. Also, Aaron, and I'm going to screw this up, but Wallery Siak. He's in the DBX1 Tao Riders group on Facebook. I'll put a link to that, and he gave me the links to the items that I used to do this change, and I'll put the links also in the description. So all this will be in the description. All right, here we go. We're gonna first remove the chain guard. We got to remove this cover, which has 3 bolts. You got to remove this gear shift first. All right, first we're gonna take off the chain guard. Okay, we took off the chain guard. Now we're going to take off the shifter. Now we're going to take the cover off with the with a 5/16 socket. Looks like we got 3 bolts. Gotta be careful not to lose this. Get it? This is sort of like a keeps the. It's like an extra gasket. This green part, you're gonna line that up correctly when you put it back on. Which is probably easier said than done. But there it is. Clean that out. It's got a bunch of shit and debris in there. And so here we are. We got to remove these 2 bolts. Take that latch off, and then either loosen the chain or remove the chain. Okay, so we used a 13 32nd socket to remove the screws from what's holding that sprocket brace. I'm going to take the brace off. There we go, comes right out. Put these screws back through the brace so we know what goes with what. And now we're at the decision time of what to do about the chain. Alright, so I decided I'm going to go ahead and pop off the chain. Just looking at it makes sense to me to try pliers. I'm going to try pliers real quick, see if that helps. Yep, came right off. So there you go. Came right off that way. That was much easier. Just take it on one side. You can see where you can pressure point it. Came right off. Huh. So I watched this other video and they said to use the hammer and the screwdriver. This is way better. Okay. Then we move that link. And should have put on gloves. Push that out. It goes like this. It's the master link, then the other, you push that through, and then there's a little thing that hinges onto it. Pretty basic. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and lift the chain up, slide off the gear. Came off like butter. That was easy. And here's the old one. 15 sprockets. Just looking at the way it went. Sort of the flat, smooth end goes toward the bike. The hollowed out side is the front. Hollowed out side is the front. Smooth side is the back. Put that down. And this one has smooth on both sides, so that's a little frustrating. But the numbering's on the front, so you got to figure if the numbering's on the front, then that should face you. I'll go ahead and put that on. Goes right on. Nice and smooth. Looks like we're good. There's a flat end, and then there's like a smoother end. I'm thinking the flat end goes in, and the smoother end, the rounder end is out. For the way to do this, looking at this, not sure. Should have paid more attention to that. But it would seem that the flat end would stay flat against the gear, and that's what you want. So I'm going to assume that's correct. Except we got to line up the holes. Okay. All right, so we got this is our RK 428, 112 links. We'll see if this fits. It's supposed to fit, and if it does, we'll use this chain. So this is the final link, and I may have to retension the chain to get it on. I don't know. It's a little snug. We'll see. There we go. Yeah, it ain't gonna reach. It is not gonna reach. So I can either use the old chain and save myself some trouble, or retension it. I guess I'll retension it. So we're just gonna go ahead and loosen it. Put the 17 mil on the bolt. Take a wrench, hold the other one. Now the socket, it's better. All right, push that down, and then got it loosened up. Real nice. Okay, that's simple. Then we need, okay, you see this, basically take your wrench, loosen that, nice and loose, back that out, and then you can push this screw in, which will make this wheel go forward, or give you the room at least to make it go forward. Master link is in. Now we just gotta flip it. So we had to loosen up the axle here, loosen up the tension, push the wheel in, put the master link in. Now we're gonna put the link over it, get it on there. Sure if I'm doing which way is which. They look the same. Let's see. Writing out. We'll do writing out. And gotta probably pry it in there with pliers, I guess. Better with I think with different type of pliers, but this is what I got. There we go, it's on. Now we put the clip on. So put it through, and it actually goes this way. So on, and then we just kind of push it in. Probably the same thing with the fucking pliers again. Worked once, so. It's gotta get, there we go. Right. Before we put the tools away, we're gonna give this thing a spin, make sure the tension's right and everything's good. And we don't wanna go back to the old setup. So let's see. Times better, 100 times better. Now, it used to be you'd have to shift from first to second like within literally 2 seconds. And I have a much longer gear. It should make learning the first gear wheelies much easier. A little less torque at the front end, but not an issue. Like you don't need as much as it had. So, yeah, man, this is definitely the way to go. Change out the sprocket to 17 teeth. I don't know if the chain is making a difference or not. It's a good solid chain, so happy with it, man. Happy with it. All right, in closing, I gotta tell you, like, doing that kind of thing really makes me nervous because I'm not experienced with doing these things. So I'm always hesitant to do them because I don't want to screw up the bike and then have to take it to a mechanic. So if I can do it, anybody can do it because when it comes to this, seriously mediocre. And it made a huge difference in the bike. It's like from a sort of a not proper gearing to absolutely proper gearing. So really happy I did it, and I recommend it. This is the Tao DBX1 140cc, great bike, really happy with it. But putting in that 17 tooth front sprocket really changes it from good to great, in my opinion, for the money of what you're spending on the bike.